Okay, recording this video. It is Tuesday, 27th of January 2015, 2:30 p.m. Chicago time. Hope you had a great day's trading. So we had an overnight waterfall sell-off, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. Hopefully I'll make this fairly quick. I suppose this is one of the rules of thumb, but I want to talk about this setup that we had for the morning's trade. An overnight waterfall sell-off looks exactly like this. I wake up to my charts first thing this morning, 4:30 a.m. Hawaii time, and this is the open. I'm there a couple of minutes before, and all I can see is pullback to end of trend after falling off, almost 30 points from this 2055 kind of level here. And you think, what do I do? It's like the move is over. And this is what I call an overnight waterfall decline. So we basically fell into a downtrend after exhaustion buy at the end of Monday, and we put in our little pullback to end of trend. So how do you trade it? So I've got a couple of rules of thumb for you on this. The first one is the waterfall decline is not over until we see exhaustion selling during the full liquidity of the day. And when I say the full liquidity of the day, I mean basically the day session, so that everybody's at their desks. We have all the participants trading. It's not good enough to see an exhaustion sell pre the open. I usually look for one during the open, and so this move is not over until I see that. And you can see if I go through today's activity, we had a little bit of strength. We kind of couldn't get through this 30 level and we fell off, and here is the exhaustion sell down here, and that's when we're finding our bottom down here at 2015, 2016. Exhaustion sells, bullish divergence comes in, a whole bunch of blue professional bars. We test with a flush pattern and a Rambo, and we're away for a break to the upside. So that's the first rule, is this isn't over until we've seen that exhaustion sell. The second thing is, well, how do you get into that? If you know that really you want to be going short until that exhaustion sell kind of comes in, how do you get short? The first kind of piece of advice is to get short at the first sign of weakness. And with today's activity, you can see on the pullback level here we have blue professional bars on that little rise pre-open. They got broken to the downside, so we know the pros are selling at that point. Get a first blue professional bar on the 1500, kind of comes in here after an amateur down bar. So that's not kind of good enough. We didn't break the lows of that. It was a quarter point, tiny little break there, but it didn't close. That's the first blue professional bar that we see after this little bit of a rise. So we've come back into resistance prints. We got a blue professional bar. We break the lows of that blue professional bar, kind of close below it, bang, we know we're going to get a little bit of weakness. So that's the first little signal to get short on, which I did. I was short at 25 even. I suppose my entry was not as precise as it should have been. I could have squeezed out maybe a better entry there. It runs to 2150, unfortunate for me. So my target doesn't get hit, my 4-point target sitting at 21 points, and then we rally back. Now, so I was actually out with a loss of 2 points after that. So that is the first best place to get in. I was hoping that this blue professional bar will get broken to the downside, but it doesn't. It gets it holds, and we kind of rush back up. So that's a real shame. So a nice little winner turns into a little loser for me, but that would be the first place to get short. The next place to get short, until you've seen that exhaustion sell, we know we're going to go down and see that. Well, 8 out of 10 times. What we start to put in then is a short covering rally. So the market's sold off, amateurs are all short, and all of a sudden we get this strength kind of coming in here, and their trailing stops, which are coming down on this move, start to get hit. And all of a sudden we get a Rambo bar coming in here. So the amateurs, maybe their trailing stops are getting hit at that point, or they're thinking, oops, the bottom's in, we're rallying, got to go long. We've got exhaustion buy here. Quite a lot of volume is coming out of the market there, being knocked out of positions, kind of either going flat or going long at that point. And when you get a Rambo pattern with an exhaustion buy, that is unstable. That is unstable. So that's actually short covering rally. Happens to be with a Rambo pattern, showing the amateurs kind of getting wrong-footed. And then we put in a whole series of patterns here. We get bearish divergence, just showing less and less buying going on at this stage. We rally back up, we flush the buyers out. So a flush signal is more extreme than a bearish divergence, but not as extreme as an exhaustion sell. And so on that rally, we're flushing sellers out. We have another Rambo pattern. The amateurs still trying to get long here. At this point here, they think that the market's holding maybe a quadruple bottom kind of going on here, and it's they're kind of buying a potential breakout here. But we know this thing is keeping going down until we get exhaustion sell. We put in another flush pattern here. We're flushing out all of those buyers, bang, and that's when we get this collapse. And this collapse through here was dramatic. 2150 was the previous low, kind of down here at the beginning of the day, bang. And then as soon as that kind of came through, wow. I mean, this thing just collapsed, bang, into that exhaustion sell. The blue professional bars kind of coming at the lows. We hold and we rally for, well, not the rest of the day, but we have a strong rally after that. So there we go. The bottom is not in until we have exhaustion sell. That's the first rule of thumb. The second one is get in on any kind of sign of weakness first thing after the open, and for me that was that little blue professional bar getting broken to the downside with cyclical resistance kind of coming in. It didn't work out. It was unfortunate, kind of got held up before little target got hit. I don't usually move those targets out because we've had a really strong move. If I'm lucky enough to get kind of 4 points at the end of a 30 point waterfall decline, that's good. So I'm not going to be pushing out that 4-point target. And then if you're lucky enough to get a short covering rally like this, exhaustion buying before that exhaustion sell, then trying to get short into that move. I had to take a couple of bites at this in order to get this kind of short trade off, because we had some numbers come out at 9 in the morning. So we had consumer confidence, there we go, and new home sales kind of came out. That caused a whole bunch of volatility kind of around here. So that was really tricky. I had to exit my short trade and got in short again at 23.5 on this kind of breakdown here, and was able to pull out actually 6 out of this move kind of down, because I moved my target out to 17.5 because I had a couple of losses to kind of make back from those early trades. So that's how to trade a waterfall day. Remember those kind of 3 rules of thumb. It's not over till we get exhaustion sell. Get in on the first sign of weakness, and then if you happen to have a short covering rally before this exhaustion sell, try and short that short covering rally as well. I'll tag on that last trade because it was a nice little one. Hope you traded it well today, and remember those rules for overnight waterfall sell-offs. It's gone short 23.25 again, 23.25, and I'm gonna move my target out to 17.25. Here we go. We just crashed through 2150s. Excellent. This is the break I've been waiting for. We've had all of these exhaustion buys, bearish diversions, flush patterns. We need an exhaustion sell in order to clear everybody out. 2150s key number. So that's the low that we made here. We're sitting at, we just crashed through it. We've just gone to 20. Got to see an 8,000 reading, and this has got to go something like pullback end of trend. So just a little bounce off blue professional bar. Alright, just got scared out of that short one last time around, so here we go. Alright, we've got our exhaustion sell down here, but no blue professional bars coming at the lows yet. Breaking through support again on 500. This has got to go something like pullback end of trend. Again, not a heap of blue professional bars, but just got to be careful. This 2024 region was so important kind of on the run up. Now we're kind of sitting back in it, and we spent a lot of time backwards and forwards here. So when did the exhaustion sell? It was only here, so that was just getting the move going. So we've not seen one on this move down. That was a pretty decent reading, but no, come on. Right, here we go. Keep them a target where it is. We're just breaking down again, but I'm just wary that this is kind of late in this move. We had such a big move down. Just looking for 17.25. Should get a pullback. This next pullback to end a trend move. Bingo! Just out. 17.25. Excellent. For 6. So finally got that move. So after all the volatility of the data releases at 9 o'clock. But good, we've got exhaustion sell. Come in, bullish divergence coming. We've got to put in pull back to end of trend though, because we're breaking through supports here. There's a little bit more in it, but we've run so far hard on the way down here. It was interesting yesterday. It was like a complex correction up and then bang overnight. All right, time to check the news, see what's going on.